welcome! So in this video I want to talk to you about using TV to help learn languages, and I'm going to be focusing on my own experience right now with Korean and Korean TV. So there are plenty of ways you can do this, which we'll talk about in a minute, but first of all, to give you a bit of insight of where I'm coming from. So I'm watching a TV show right now which is available on Netflix called Hyori's B&B, Hyori's Bed and Breakfast, right? And basically Hyori is it's kind of a reality show, which is why I like it, because I'm not a huge K-drama fan, don't shoot me, but I much prefer this style of TV in terms of like casual stuff I can watch generally, you know, if I'm washing up, if I'm cooking, that kind of thing. And then sometimes I might want to take this further. So if you've got something that you're watching like that in a sort of casual setting and you want to actually make it more active in terms of language learning, listen up. Here we go. Just like with the recent video about music, I'm going to give you one suggestion for each key skill or area. You can check the music video. I'll put a little card up above me now so you can check that out as well if you've missed that. So we're going to talk about listening, reading, writing, speaking, and vocab and grammar. Listening then, obviously one of the easiest things, and one of the things that I like to do, and I find the easiest way to actually think a bit more actively here, is to listen out for key phrases. So I know, for example, with Hyori's B&B, they're answering the phone to people that are coming to stay. And when they answer the phone, they say, 여보세요? They don't say, 안녕하세요 or 안녕 or anything like that. They say, 여보세요? So I've noticed this. And it's interesting because I learned recently from a like language course thing, or whatever it was, that people, this video said, oh no, people don't use 여보세요. But this is a reality show. It's not like scripted drama, anything like that. It's real. And they're saying it. So I'm now seeing it in real context, which is, you know, really interesting. Another example is when, for example, if they want to walk the dogs, they say kacha, kacha, like let's go, let's go. So that's another thing that I've learned. And also the way they address each other. So often the husband, Sang-soon, is called Sang-soon-nim, Sang-soon-nim. So nim, I've learned, is then like a form of address. So I'm kind of picking up a little bit more about, you know, how to address people and culture and that side of things too. And that's just from listening out to those key phrases that I'm hearing again and again. And I did the same thing with Korean years ago with Boys Over Flowers. So there's a blog post about that I'll link to in the description below as well. There's plenty of other ways. So let's dig in a little bit more. Writing then. So similarly to what I mentioned in the music episode, kind of parallel to this about TV, use anything, like some kind of stimulus, as a stimulus for free writing, right? So watch an episode and then write something about that episode, whether it's a review, maybe you are writing a summary, maybe you are writing, you know, focusing on one key scene and maybe writing a script of that scene or what happens next. So many different ways that you can take this and use to do some creative writing. And with that as well, that's then something you can get checked with a tutor or checked online on something like, you know, iTalki Notebook or something like that. And then something you can actually practice speaking and repeating aloud as well. So really, really cool way to use it for writing. And again, similar to the music video we did recently with speaking, talk about your opinions, give a review of what you've seen, or even do everything that we've just mentioned for writing. So like in terms of summary or dialogue, and use that in terms of speaking as well. So many ways to be flexible with this. Reading. So one thing that I think is really cool here that expands and kind of goes beyond what you're already doing is to read interviews and read reviews as well, like we've said about writing reviews, but read reviews, but also read interviews with cast members and kind of go beyond the specifics of the exact show. I found when I first started watching Hyori's B&B that, you know, I didn't know who she was. I'd never heard of her, but I've been able to go online and learn a bit more, some in English, some in Korean, you know, but mostly in English at the stage I'm at, but depending on your particular level, you know, you can then read beyond and like look for articles about the show, look for reviews, look for interviews, etc. And I've learned a lot more then about like the whole premise of this show and why it's so significant. So grammar, and if you watch the music video, you're going to know what I'm going to say here, changing tenses. So if you hear someone saying, tomorrow we're going to the shops, change that up. What about if they said, yesterday we went to the shops? And then you can expand upon that and really think, okay, maybe they bought stuff in the shop, maybe they, you know, how did they get to the shop? all of these questions that you can ask yourself. It doesn't matter if the answers are true or false, that doesn't matter. You know, I remember at school, one of the things that we got taught about learning languages was just lie. It's the way to practice, is to just lie. It doesn't have to be true when you're practicing. So, you know, expand upon that one sentence that you've already switched into a different tense and build this whole other scenario with other sentences and phrases around that to practice your grammar. And vocab, same as music, do a mind map. So get really creative in terms of picking out one key word or phrase and then expand around from there. So this is the one that I'm gonna try myself. So I'm just gonna pick up on the latest episode where I'm at. I think I'm currently on season 2, episode 7. I'd definitely watch it in chunks because the episodes are like feature film length each time, which is just insane to me. So we're going to watch maybe just 10-30 seconds, and I'm going to find one particular thing that I want to build upon and expand and learn more vocab from. So here we go. Let me open up my episode. Okay, I think I found my word. So something else about this show in particular that I forgot to mention is that they have loads of text. I think this is a very kind of East Asian thing maybe with TV, like especially sort of reality and variety style shows where text will come up a lot on the screen. So there's lots of visual stimulus going on. And one of the things that I've noticed comes up quite a lot is sort of onomatopoeia phrases. And it's something really interesting for me with Korean. I feel like there's quite a lot. So the dog is biting these little cotton balls, and it says on the screen, see if I can read this. Kwang, 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 kwang. So, or tang, 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 tang. So I'm going to write that one down first of all. There it is, in the middle of my page. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm just using my regular notebook, just making a quick jot down of this. And then if I want to expand further, I can. But I want to look now for more of these. So I've got my example there from Netflix. I'm now going to go straight to Google. Let's search for Korean on, how do you spell onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia. That's not a very friendly word. Onomatopoeia. Oh, here we go. Korean onomatopoeia word you will love, 90-day Korean. So now I've got a whole list to expand upon. Cool. Okay, what do I focus on? Mung mung is a dog. So yaong, yaong, yang is meow. That's fun. Ring of a telephone and knock on the door. I've seen these on the show. Knock on the door I've seen, and honk on a horn. Bang, 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 bang. Isn't that also the word for bread? Okay, let's keep writing these down. I've definitely seen some more of these on the show. So I'm gonna write the ones that I know. Cool. Okay, so just from watching that show just for a second and taking one thing that I recognized, having seen, not that particular word, but having seen loads of those little text overlays with these examples of the sort of onomatopoeia stuff. I've got one in the middle. I've then expanded out around it. Even down here, I've expanded out from honk of a horn down to bread. I'm sure that's bread. Let me confirm. Bread, boom, bang, honk, as you do. And then what I could do with that then, look, is that could then expand. If I could take this onto a bigger piece of paper and expand then bread into more vocab, room, expand into more house vocab. And actually I've been doing lots of food and lots of house stuff lately, so I'm going to do this later on and finish this up. And yeah, maybe I'll share it on Instagram when I'm done. So that's just one example of those suggestions that I shared with you of how you can take this further, and just, you know, using that show as inspiration to learn more Korean that I wouldn't have sat down otherwise and thought, today I'm going to learn Korean onomatopoeia. You know, I wouldn't have done that. So it's given me that, you know, chance to stretch things a little bit further than I would have normally. So yeah, give it a go. Let me know which of these you try, or if you do any of these already, if you have your own methods for using TV that work, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, remember to subscribe for regular language learning videos. I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.